Well, hello, all you beautiful beings. I thought I'd share another travel adventure today. I'm at the beautiful Vanderbilt mansion. There, you can see it behind me. I'm in the gardens right now, so we're going to walk and talk a little bit. Look at this. I'm actually not giving you the best view. That behind me is the Blue Ridge Mountains. I should have gotten this started with the other view, but I thought I'd do it while I was walking the grounds. And I wanted to share with you today, since this is part 4, if you didn't see the first 3 parts, I highly recommend to check those out, about recovering from burnout and dealing with your people pleaser and managing healthy relationship between you and your source. That's what this is overall all about. And this is just so lovely, these gardens. So we're walking at the gardens of Vanderbilt. I will see if I can do another part in front of the mansion, which that would end up being, I guess, part 5. Look at this, how cute. So right now we're talking about, you can see it behind me. And look at this, how beautiful, right? So I just wanted to share a bit for you today about trusting, because a lot of people don't really get this, right? We're so caught up in our state of reality that we don't recognize that we can let go of what's not serving us. This was part of what was covered in the earlier videos. And just start trusting in source. And source, right? Your connection with the divine, and that the field will respond to you. Because why? The field is infinite consciousness, and it's always sending to you an equal match of who you are vibrationally, energetically, who you as a personality self are being. Now, the higher truth is your love, your consciousness, right? But we're not always in our state of, oh my God, you have to see this, personality self, believing and perceiving that and recognizing it. So when we start to just let go and start trusting, like really trusting that the divine is going to support and assist us on our journey, and that the divine is infinitely abundant and infinitely prosperous, because that's the truth of what the divine is. Part of what the divine is, the whole, the all-encompassing wholeness of everything. Look at this. I'm going to try and turn around and let you see. It's so pretty, isn't it? That then we start living in accordance with that. And we get to have an experience. Sorry, I'm walking past people. That's more aligned with the wholeness of who we are and who we're meant to be. Look how pretty. I'm going down into the gardens. And through that alignment of letting go and trusting and allowing, that we can then start to experience the vast richness and wealth of all that exists. It's not to the harm or detriment of another. It's to the wholeness and fullness of all that is. One does not cancel out the other. Both exist simultaneously. The question is, what will we allow? I'm going to let these people pass by me. But in allowing more of that wholeness and richness of who we are, look how pretty. You can see behind me. It's that we start to shift and vibrate at a frequency that allows more of all that is, that's more aligned with our true nature, including the happiness, the health, the well-being, the prosperity, right? So it's about learning to trust. And sometimes when we play a game of learning to trust, there's ebbs and flows, right? But playing the game of learning to trust the divine means we're letting go of controlling the exacts and still living intentionally. I intend to be able to trust. I intend to be able to take a vacation, time off, to restore myself to health and well-being, whatever your intention is, however you put that intention into play, and to be able to continue to live prosperously and abundantly and in harmony with all that is, and in living in alignment with my joy, with the energetic of joy, health, well-being, prosperity, etc. Turn around and let you see some more of this. That I will be divinely supported, right? So the trust game is in letting go of human identification of this is how it needs to be done, XYZ, this is how I need to do this, XYZ, I need to control this, control that. And instead allowing the divine in all of its infinite consciousness to support and assist by being the energy of what we want to experience, by allowing ourselves to be that energy. Then our experience reflects. I hope this is making sense, because this stuff just starts to come out of me. I'm not doing this for my brain, but I want to show you where I am. Beautiful and magnificent, right? A lot of beauty here at the Biltmore estate. And I just love walking and sharing this beauty with you. And hopefully you're understanding what I'm throwing down here. All about source, trusting in source, trusting in the divine, making a choice to trust in love and consciousness, making a choice to recognize that the infinite will support us as we choose to align with it. So when I got to Asheville, which that's where the Biltmore Estates are, where I am right now, I made a clear intention that I was just going to let and allow Asheville and the surroundings to just open up to me, to receive me, that I would receive, accept, and allow the experience for all greatness that it presented to me. And that's what's been happening. I've just been really enjoying myself and detoxing from the burnout, the people pleasing, the over giving. I've been talking about this. Look at this really pretty plant. It's so pretty. These are ready to bloom. Can you see that? Hope you can see. So pretty. I can only imagine how beautiful this is during spring. In any case, oh my God, look at these. So these are closed here. Wow, this is closed right now, which is kind of a bummer that I missed it, but I'll be back, I'm sure. There's all kinds of greenery in there because this is like the greenhouse, right? So you can look through the window. Maybe I'll try to look through the other windows too. The idea is that so many of us, we don't trust ourselves, we don't trust in the divine. And the lack of trust is because of two things. Number one, we haven't played with it enough. We haven't practiced it. But number two, and actually these should probably be in reverse order. Number one is more because we don't understand how it works, because we were operating in that old paradigm that was not based on love and trust primarily, even though it was. We were basing our reality on, look, it's so pretty back there, right? On fear and external authorities, including false gods that were fear-based, punishment-based, etc. And separation, right? Where we were separate from this God that we had to somehow, oh my God, it's so pretty in there. I don't think you can see. See if I can give you that. Where we had to pray to this false God that was punishing or somehow separate from us. Or these false gods or deities that are like archetypical patterns, and I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love Lakshmi, Abundanti. I love them all. But they're just archetypical patterns, like the Hindu gods, and I love them, but they're archetypical patterns of consciousness. And they're still aspects of separation, right? So, and I love them, and I still work with them, but I'm just saying, this is so pretty. That this new paradigm is based on higher frequencies or purer frequencies, love, trust, alignment, unification, right? And so those frequencies, you have to start being them. So when I say the reason we don't trust is, number one, we didn't understand in the old paradigm, because we were playing from separation and fear-based reality, that we didn't understand how it worked, right? In the new paradigm, we start understanding the laws of this reality, how the energy works, how consciousness works, and we start using and applying it and playing with it. So the way trust starts happening is you start playing with it. You say, I'm going to trust, I'm going to let go for a little while, at least long enough that I can start to shift into a new frequency, a new vibratory state of being, I can start trusting. I'm going to play with this experience and see how it works for me, not from a place of doubt or disbelief, but rather from a place of curiosity, inquiry, desire to unify, desire and choice, an intention to be able to trust even greater, better, or to be able to have the kind of more of the kind of experience that's more aligned. I'm trying to find, there it is. No, facing the wrong angle. I'm trying to help you see the, oh, I can't find it from behind me. So silly, I'm not a camera person, right? There's the castle. Is that it behind me? Hard to tell. I was trying to give you a view of that, but you're getting a sense how beautiful these gardens are. By the way, in the game of trust, I'll just add a little more in here. When we're talking about the game of trust, we're coming into the recognition that through our unification with Source, and Source in all of its infinite potential will provide to us more of what we desire and intend, as long as we can vibrationally, energetically become that, unify with it through that experience of choosing it and intending for it and allowing, kind of getting out of the way and playing with these energies. For example, trust. We start having more of direct experience where it's like, oh, this is how it works, right? This is how it works. Oh, now it's safe for me. We have to work with the energy of feeling safe, right? Because like when you're burnt out, as I was, or people pleasing, that's any archetype that you've been playing with. That is a sort of separation archetype where you're not fully unified with Source, right? Whatever that archetype is, whatever that pattern is, from that experience of that separation, it's just a part of you that's playing out this old pattern where you're not aligned, right? You're in some form of individuation, right? So you're not receiving or experiencing the fullness. And so somehow that personality self that I'm talking about in this case is operating from, I'm not safe, right? I talked about this in my last video. Sorry, there's a lot of people behind me distracting me. So when we're not aligned with our Source, we don't feel safe, right? People pleaser, these archetypical patterns, they develop because we don't feel a sense of safety in our reality. We're not safe, so we have to adapt or accommodate in some way to survive, right? There's survival tools of the old paradigm that helped us to survive, because in that old paradigm, we weren't safe. So this is what I've been talking about over the past few episodes. So if you're not safe, if you don't feel safe and you don't know what it means to be safe, start asking yourself, what does it mean to be safe? How does it feel to be safe so I can let go and trust in the divine? So I hope this is helpful. I will say it's ironic that I'm doing this at the Biltmore estate, because if you're into conspiracy at all, those guys, right? Vanderbilts, Biltmores, those are the ones who set the system up. They're not the ones. If you want to go back even further, you could say it goes back way further than that, right? Extraterrestrials. You can go down that road if you want. They set up the system so that only they could benefit and prosper, and everybody else was slaves, right? Okay, I know I'm going off course here, and for those of you who are into that stuff, good. For those of you who are not, I don't mean to turn you off. But here it is, I'm talking about safety and trust and freedom on the lands where overall people who own these properties helped to set up the systems in the 1800s. It goes back way before then, of course it does. But they're in the lineages, right? Where the systems were designed to benefit the few to the harm and detriment of the many, so the few could prosper and the many would become basically slaves to the system, right? And here, that's why we were never safe. That's why we didn't feel abundant. That's why we didn't feel prosperous, because it's not the only reason why, because we were playing in a game of unconsciousness. We chose to play in a game of unconsciousness, and we chose to have false leaders and false authorities. And here I am hanging out on the grounds of some of those lineages set it up that way. I know they're not the root of it. The root of it was just us choosing to play in the game of unconsciousness for the experiences that would expand consciousness through the experience of unconsciousness. Okay, that stuff right there, if you're down with me, if you're in the game of waking up, hopefully that's really helpful to you, because that's very progressive information. If it doesn't make sense to you, just listen and let it sink in. Brain can't make sense of these things until it's ready. But there it is. Either way, I'm inviting you to start inviting in safety and trust into your experience and start playing with more of this in your reality, because this is how you heal yourself. You know, this is how you start coming back into feeling good at an accelerated rate, by unplugging from the 3D and plugging into just being at one with yourself and exploring reality and consciousness in a way that feels good and right and divinely aligned for you. And that's what I've been doing this week. It's been actually almost 4 weeks of this. I only started documenting it in the last, maybe 2 weeks. But I hope this is helpful for you, especially when we're talking about developing and cultivating self-trust and restoring personal sense of safety from within. What does it mean to you to feel safe, to be you? What does it mean to you to feel safe? Ooh, I'm going to the Bass Pond. That's where I'm headed now. How do you provide that for yourself in this reality when you're needing, to pay bills and meet your obligations and your debts and take care of people and stick to your agreements and take care of all the to-dos on your to-do list? Well, I'm documenting what I've been doing, sharing it with you, and hoping it's of service and contribution. In truth, it's because I love teaching and sharing, so I'm doing what I love, teaching and sharing, and hopefully it's helping you on your journey as well. If you're dealing with any of these themes that I've been discussing over the past at least four episodes now, while I've been traveling and basically taking the time off to heal myself from that burnout and that people-pleasing that was just going on, and having to face some of my own fears about aggressive or confrontational people or overly demanding people, and then really saying, this is my life and it hasn't been so fun for the past year, so I'm going to change it now. Oh my God, look how cute this is. If any of this is helping you, please let me know in the comments. Also, please check out the podcast, The Awakened Elevated Human. I've still been doing that, and that's still going up every week. And head over to LoriSpagna.com so that you can get more information. I'm going through the tunnel. This is so fun. More information, helpful guidance and support. And at LoriSpagna.com, you'll get tons of great gifts as well, like activating your dormant DNA, free activation, and learning how to use animal communication and telepathy, and learning how to awaken more of your intuitive gifts and unify with your source in a deeper, more richly rewarding way, so you can start living the life you are meant to live. And this is part of the life I'm meant to live, to be able to travel and play and have fun and share and teach. Can you hear that? All right, with that, I'm going to sign off for now. I'm sending you so much love. I'm wishing you your most benevolent best. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.